John Benedict Bowler, our first Irish ancestor to immigrate to the U.S., and your great-great-great-great-grandfather, born in County Kerry, Ireland, around 1838, immigrating to the U.S. in the mid-1850s. On January 19, 1862, John Bowler and Ellen Kavanagh were married in Palmer, Massachusetts. Ellen was also born in County Kerry around 1838. After the wedding, John and Ellen settled into domestic life and started a family. First was Mary E., born November 3, 1862. Michael John, born September 29, 1864. He was your great-great-great-grandfather. Patrick F., born February 6, 1866. Thomas F., born October 25, 1867. Margaret A., born March 10, 1869. All were born in Palmer, Massachusetts. John A., born August 17, 1871. James M., born February 2, 1874. Both were born in West Springfield, Massachusetts. Joseph F., born December 4, 1877, in Brimfield, Massachusetts. Mary Frances, born December 23, 1880, in Indian Orchard, Massachusetts. Hey kids. Precious little is known about Ellen Kavanagh. What I do know is that she was born in County Kerry, Ireland, in around 1838. Emigrated to the United States via Canada in the mid-1850s. By March 28, 1882, she had passed away. Currently, I don't know where. I believe it might be Camden County, Massachusetts, but I'm still looking. Life in Massachusetts was hard back then. The Bowlers lost 6 children by the 1880s. Some were less than a year old. The only children to survive past 1986 were Michael John, John Andrew, and Joseph Francis. There was a family story that goes that Patrick Francis Bowler was hanged in 1886 for stealing a horse. I can neither prove nor disprove that, so currently it is just that, a story. Michael John did travel around New England, including in 1886 or 1883, Pawtucket, Rhode Island. More about him in my next video. Sometime before 1890, the 3 surviving children, Michael John, Joseph Francis, and John Andrew, moved to Denver, Colorado. I was sent a copy of a letter dated August 18, 1889, from John Bowler to his sons. In the letter, he expresses how much he loves and misses his children. He also describes his life in Allegheny, Pennsylvania, trying to raise the money to travel to Denver, Colorado, where his children were. He had hoped to be there into Denver sooner, but stated he would be there probably around September 1 of 1889. Most of the letter is hard to read due to penmanship. The last line of his letter read, "I wish you a God's blessing, and I hope you don't forget about going to church and confession." John Benedict Bowler was able to reunite with his children in Denver, Colorado, sometime around 1890. In 1892, John contracted typhoid fever. He died in early November of 1892. Originally, he was buried in Calvary Cemetery in Denver. Several years later, as I understand it, Calvary Cemetery was closed, and all the graves were reburied in Mount Olivet Cemetery, also in Denver. In a letter I received from the director of Mount Olivet Cemetery, stated that most of the Calvary burials were unmarked, including John Benedict's. Next time, we'll discuss John Benedict's eldest son, Michael John, your great-great-great-grandfather, and Kate Bowler, his wife. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me, or comments in the description below. Until then, stay safe. This is a partial list of young men of Palmer, Massachusetts, eligible to serve in the military during the Civil War. John Bowler is listed as number 3. Also in the last column, he is not listed as an alien. This tells me he was probably a U.S. citizen.